All good?
Yeah, ready to roll.
So we got head coach Mike Jacobs, Lenoir-Rhyne Bears, talking about 2023 season. And Mike, let's start by looking back at 2022. Obviously, first year we had divisions, played for the championship game. How did that affect the year? Just kind of your team and like the mindset throughout the year.
Sure, I think it presents an opportunity that you're always working towards something, right? And even if you may stumble early, you have a chance at whether it's a divisional title and then a chance to play for the outright SAC. So I think our guys train their minds to think that way and do that. I also think it afforded an opportunity to award more and recognize more all-conference kids, which I think is great. Kids work really hard at this level and kind of hold D2 life in balance, and to be able to reward them at a greater clip when they're doing things well, I think was great for the league.
So as you look back on the year, what do you think, or how do you think the offense looks this year in comparison to last year?
We look very similar, to be honest with you. Yeah, we had we lost our two starting guards, and that's it. We have 9 other starters back. Really, all of our skill at the 2 deep is back at running back, wide receiver, tight end, and it's a lot of guys that have been playing since the COVID year for us. So we're starting to transit where we've been an extremely young football team the last couple of years. Starting to transition to where some of these guys are in their 3rd and 4th year in our program. And last year Sean White was a new starting quarterback for us, first time in what seems like forever. Grayson, Grayson Willingham wasn't the starting quarterback at LR, and so I thought Sean, I think he finished 2nd in the league in passing, so really grew up over the course of the year, and we're excited about really that entire room's growth and development. We're excited about the young man that came in on scholarship, Kamani Robinson, and so we're looking forward to big things from the offense this year.
Flip the other side of the ball, how's the defense looking? I know you had a bunch of returners, including some big all-conference guys.
We do, yeah, and similar story there, to be honest with you. We lost one safety to graduation, Jimmy Palmer. JP Palmer, who played a bunch of football for us over the last 2 seasons, but other than that, there's really 10 starters and a guy that played a bunch for us last year. So we got quite a few guys back. We got a lot of talented kids. Everything starts up front with Andre Jefferson. I think, obviously he was nominated as an All-American last year, but I think he easily could have been the SAC Defensive Player of the Year, and just kind of starts with him. And then in the middle of the defense, you got, John Ross May's been going into his 4th year starting. Devin Hibbett had an all-conference year. Percy King's a guy that's going into his 4th year starting for us. So there's a tremendous amount of experience in the box, so to say. And then, in the back half, for us, Sedarius Kelly was a first-team All-SAC kid and really a tremendous player. And then our safeties, James Ussery and Damian Savage, have done a nice job, and Chris Brown, other corner. So, there's a lot of familiar faces for LR Bears fans.
What do you see as your biggest challenge as you move into this year?
I think just any time, incorporating the new players into your program, establishing your culture and expectations, and then understanding that last year's last year, and this is a new season with a new team, and it has a new personality and life of its own, and getting our guys ready to play a highly competitive conference schedule and out-of-conference schedule.
What do you think your team is going to need to succeed this year? Is there anybody that you think, hey, if that guy steps up or these couple players step up, we're going to be successful?
Yeah, I mean, with as many veteran starters as we have coming back, I think the big key for us will be how are some of our young players able to develop into, whether it's quality backups, whether it's special teams players, whether they overtake a starter, but where does our depth lie? And if we can develop our depth the way we need to, then I think that will be a big deal for us for our success.
The last question, I'll leave you with this. So I know Catawba is your natural rival. That's the big one in the conference for you guys. But outside of that, when those guys get on campus and the entire team's there, and that first What are they looking at on that schedule says, hey, that's the game we want to win?
They better be looking at September 2nd in St. Augustine, because that's that's coach talk. That's the coach talk for this interview. But in all seriousness, like, we have to have a 1-0 mindset, and it has to start with week 1. And you know, we're going to roll through a competitive schedule. You know, we didn't overlook anybody last year, but there was a natural fit when you got the defending national champions on your schedule. We don't have that this year, but we have, you know, our other out-of-conference games, Fayetteville State, and they're back-to-back conference champions. They're guys that have been in the playoffs. So, you know, we have a challenge early, and then the SAC, I think, is going to be as competitive as it's ever been. We have a bunch of great coaches, and there's a lot of really talented players, and I think we're in for an exciting season.
Coach Jacobs, appreciate you taking the time.
No doubt. Thank you,
Looking forward to
Christian.
the 2023 season.
Awesome.